All right, I've been waiting. No, actually, I should say, y'all have been waiting for me to drop this video, so here it is. I will do the dance video at a later time, which is going to be Instagram exclusive and Twitter as like, a backup exclusive. So I'm here to deliver my thoughts on That Girl Lele getting a season 2, and rightfully I knew they would after that season 1 cliffhanger ending. So let's get into it. Excuse me. First off is basically with, Lele's secret getting exposed to Marky as, walked into the room. It's kind of funny how, my childhood nickname was Marky, and, there's a character on one of my favorite shows created by my favorite #1 actor comedian, David Arnold, named Marky. Funny how that works. And considering it was Lele's birthday and David Arnold's big weekend when the renewal of season 2 renewal was announced. So all that put together, and John D. Beck, Ron Hart touching it, Gabrielle Nevaeh Green being snatched from all that to play the role of Lele's best friend. It was meant to be. It was meant to be. But it's kind of funny. I don't know if John, Ron, David, and them, told Peyton Perrine III in character, to walk in the room as Lele and Gabrielle in character were talking about the secret. But I'm guessing they did, because otherwise, if this was if this was real life, then Marky probably wouldn't have walked into the room and Lele was talking about her secret. You know what I'm saying? But they probably did have it staged, where Peyton in character as Lucky came in the room as Lele as her fictionalized self was talking to Gabriella Sadie about the secret, and she exposed it to Marky. And when she tried to cover it up and hide it from Marky, she kind of failed at it. So I just knew watching that cliffhanger when I finally caught up on it on the Nickelodeon website that there was going to be a season 2. And luckily the honchos at Nick were wise like Dale Earnhardt Jr. to tell David Arnold, John D. Beck, and Ron Hart, hey, the show, that season 1 was a cliffhanger, and Mark Oliveris and all the other fans knew it, that you guys are getting a season 2 to continue the story, so there's going to be more to the story. Who else is going to find out Lele's secret? Well, Graydon and the other bad guy played by Lugnut. Yeah, Lugnut. Well, Graydon and Lugnut find out about Lele's secret, and if they do, are they going to make fun of her? That we don't know, but I'm pretty sure if they do find out, they probably will, because, in real life, the real life Graydon, as well as Sean Philip Goslow, or how you say his last name, sorry for botching your name, buddy, Jesus Christ, I can't talk. I'm pretty sure they're really decent boys in real life, but their characters on the show are fucking dipshits, That's what the actors get paid to do. If they get paid to play a bad character, they're supposed to make them being dipshits look real. Because if they were dipshits in real life, then they wouldn't have any fans, let alone have any friends, or want people to talk to them or be around them. And like I always say, just because the actors are like that on the show with some characters that are bad, doesn't mean they're like that in real life. I mean, we can always imagine, writing fanfic where we play a fictionalized version of ourselves where they can be fucking dipshits to people like me that are playing fictionalized versions of themselves in these fanfics I write, which I haven't wrote a That Girl Lele fanfic yet. I haven't wrote a Bunked fanfic yet. I haven't wrote a Coop and Cammy fanfic yet, even though I'm planning to. Hell, I haven't even wrote a Big Leap fanfic yet. But all those fanfics I'm gonna get to, and even if I never finish them or complete a whole season, or let alone a whole series, I plan to get to those over time in the years to come, as long as these shows keep going on and on and on. But man, That Girl Lele gets a season 2 as soon as David Arnold hits Cleveland for his big night, his hometown, his big athletes, like his gigantic jumbo weekend of Netflix. That Girl Lele celebrates her Michael Waltrip 15th birthday in real life. It was all meant to be. I'm really, really happy we're getting a season 2. I missed, the Thursday nights being That Girl Lele only. It's nice to have an even more loaded Thursday night in the second half of this television season, Danger Force, Warped, and then Thursday night Nickelodeon in America, doubleheader, and of course, pivoting on Fox, at close to the end of the night, 9:30 in the evening on Fox. It's been more exciting, but it's been, in between, we've had some breaks from our shows, we missed the Goldberg Kissing Bandit episode because of that Ridgeville Midview basketball game, and then there was no new episode the next week, so that's why we're doing the doubleheader tomorrow of the Kissing Bandit and the Valentine's episode, which the Kissing Bandit will come off the DVR, and tomorrow's reaction video will be talking about both episode Ryan Newman 12 and Ty Dillon 13. Ty Dillon 13 being tomorrow's episode Ryan Newman 12 being the one we missed due to the basketball game, Ridgeville versus Midview. So yeah, you're going to be seeing that. It's nice to have a break. We haven't had a Million Little Things episode since before Christmas, and they don't come back until they 22 days until they're back. But it's nice to have a break from the things you love. Right now, I'm taking another break from the Spurs, just to keep myself from raising my blood pressure through the roof and keep my blood pressure healthy as a whole. Because if we had never had a break from the things we love, we wouldn't appreciate it as much whenever they happen. We just kept doing it every single day, every single week, every single month. You know what I mean? It's nice to have a break sometimes, and hell, even during the NASCAR season, it's nice to have some weekends off. If you're like, say for the old me was fully blown into it, where we had breaks every once in a while. Where if there was no break, if they ran 36 weeks in a row without taking any breaks, then it wouldn't be as enjoyable. Even with the breaks, I haven't been really fully blown into NASCAR anymore. I mean, I still love NASCAR. Don't get me wrong. I always will love NASCAR till the day I die. But just it's one thing to love it. It's another thing it's one thing to love something, another thing to have a passion for it. You see, my passion is not the same anymore for NASCAR like it once was. I know this is a That Girl Lele video, but this is just basically, generally speaking, talk about things you can love, but also not be fully blown into either. When I was a kid growing up in the Lenore house in Michigan and the Sandhurst house in Brook Park, I was fully blown into NASCAR. My passion was high, even when there was better stuff going on around in my town, in my city, in my neighborhood, or if my friends were doing something that I could have been part of. I didn't want to do anything with any of them, anybody, let alone I didn't even want to go to family out gatherings and outings because I wanted to stay home and catch every single race, especially in the summer months where it would hurt other people, especially if the neighbors that you were friends with, were doing stuff, considering, hell, even when I did go places on nights and days where, it was race day, I would make the person who we were if we were visiting a public facility that had cable TV, or we were going to someone else's house that had cable TV and had all the NASCAR channels, over the years, Fox, FX, NBC, TNT, all that good shit, even ABC and the Estupido Pendejo network, I would still make them turn on the race just so I can still catch every single one. But nowadays, I've gotten older, it's like, if I have time to watch a race, or I actually feel like I want to watch a race, I'll watch it. But if I don't have time or don't feel like watching it, that means I found better stuff to do. I just don't feel like watching, period. Even if I have nothing else to do, I just want to relax or sleep in, I especially in the summertime, I basically, when the weather's decent and it's not shitty like this, right, it is now, especially the hell of a snowstorm we're about to get tomorrow night, yeah, when the weather's decent, it's I found better stuff to do with my friends, out here in the neighborhood these days where I live now, you never know who you might see in the summertime, because especially some close friends and best friends and people you love, you don't get to see all the time. So therefore, when you see them, you got to appreciate it and go for the opportunity and grab it while it's sitting in front of you. That's why I'm not fully blown into NASCAR anymore, to the point where even on race day, I'll go outside and hang out with the neighbors and, make memories with my friends. I'll do that, Even with the Spurs, I'm the same way now. It's if I find better stuff to do in the winter months, even with some hibernation, which, to be fair, I'm not fully blown into that no more. I'll occasionally nowadays, I'll pop out in the neighborhood for a rare cameo appearance, But it's whenever there's something fun to do in the winter on a Spurs game day, I'll even another basketball game that's more worth watching than the Spurs these days, like Ridgeville High School basketball. I'll go out there and do it. I'll even film a YouTube video and do it, And it seems like, even when there's, and I have to be stuck at home anyway, but yet the Spurs are on, but to the point where I'm not fully blown into this team's games like I used to be, because you know how bad we are. If there's a show on at the same day as the Spurs at the same time, I'm going to watch the show instead. I still love the Spurs and always will till the day I die, even if we were to go a season 0-82. But the fact is, someone commented, "Are you planning anything for Valentine's Day?" And I doesn't show the whole comment, but I'll read it in a minute. But, considering how bad we've been, Spurs fans like me who have seen this team be good almost the entire time they've lived and have been on Earth, we're not used to losing. I'm not used to losing. It's hard to go through. I mean, I do get it. Sometimes it takes a lot. During a rebuild, it takes a lot of losing to get back to the winning ways you used to be at back in the glory days. But it would take a whole new crew. I get it. I know it's going to take time for us to get back to the promised land again with some losing. But even if you understand it, it's really hard to go through it. It's hard to go through, growing pains and losing when you've gotten so used to winning and, domination and being on top for 20 plus years. That's why I'm not fully blowing in the games no more, because it just messes with my blood pressure whenever I watch. And, we lost the Phoenix game, was it, Sunday night, so it wouldn't have been worth watching, so I watched Promised Land instead, and we blew another big-ass fucking lead, so I'm not surprised. But anyway, we're back to the That Girl Lele stuff. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what David A. Arnold, my favorite actor, comedian, has in store for us as the head honcho of That Girl Lele alone. Not the head honcho of Nick, but the head honcho of That Girl Lele. There's honchos like Nick that are higher than him, obviously, which is why, people like him who work on Nickelodeon, but also work other places where they get to cuss a lot, he has to keep it clean on Nickelodeon, obviously. And, John D. Beck, Ron Hart, and Will Power Packer, I look forward to seeing what they have in store for us for season 2. And I can't wait till they begin production. That way, I can, we can see some more behind the scenes photos, of, the whole cast, shooting some episodes for us to see in the second season to continue the story of fictional Lele. And, saying if the lab rats could overcome their secret getting revealed little by little to Marcus and Douglas, then Perry, and then Taylor, the whole rest of the world, all courtesy of Taylor S1. Then Lele can overcome having her secret let out, because after the lab rats overcame their bionic secret being revealed, and Ben Boldet's character, Special Agent Graham, was arrested, Mr. Davenport was able to get him back, and it was, even with all the minor shortcomings after Bionic Rebellion, they overcame it, and we had a happy ending to the original Lab Rats. But unfortunately, the follow-up, Elite Force, didn't have the proper ending we asked for, unfortunately. I can understand, the cliffhanger of the attack being a Season 1 finale cliffhanger. I can understand that. But to have it be the series finale cliffhanger, not knowing what happens next, and having basically the bad guys winning, Roman, Riker, Rodicius, and Reese winning, that's fucked up. I know Chris and Brian did not intend to that. I know. It's not their fault. It's Disney XD's fault for wanting to cancel the series so soon when Chris and Brian wanted to continue it, possibly bring back Adam and Leo for Season 2 of the Elite Force, possibly do an episode where they rebuild Mighty Med. Hell, they probably would have done some episodes where they brought back old characters from the original Lab Rats, even the ones that were dead in the original, like Crane, Marcus, even the ones that were put behind bars, like Sebastian, Lexi. Hell, there was even some non-bionic characters, good and bad, that I wanted to come back in that series, like Caitlin and Carrie, because I just love Grace Kaufman and Michaela Corazzo, or Pistilli now that she's married. But I'm excited for That Girl Lele Season 2, whenever that would come. But this summer we'll be doing Ultraviolet and Black Scorpion, Meet the Mayhems in Season 6 of Bunked. So I will see you all tomorrow night for episode, when we go over episode Ryan Newman and Ty Dillon of The Goldbergs. We're doing double duty with, on the DVR, we'll be doing the Kissing Bandit episode. And then after that, I have to make sure I wake up at a reasonable time tomorrow, go to bed at a somewhat reasonable time to wake up in time to, have time to watch the whole Kissing Bandit episode before the new Valentine's episode comes on tomorrow. And then we'll go over all of that. So, yeah. I gotta go get something to drink, because my mouth and my throat is, getting all all fucked up and all this talking. So have a good night tonight and a better day tomorrow. Life will give you louder lows, but when you hit a high, enjoy it. It ain't for the weak. Goddamn, be you. You have to try harder to do less. So take care, everyone. Good night, and I'll see you all for season 2 of That Girl Lele, whenever that may be. See you later, everyone.